More than 2,500 years ago, a ruler from the Iranian plateau created one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. His name was Cyrus the Great. His empire stretched from the Mediterranean Sea to Central Asia, from Egypt to the borders of India. It connected three of the most important centers of early civilization, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, under one system of governance. But the real story of Iran is not simply about empire. It is about civilization. A civilization that has survived invasions by Greeks, Arabs, Turks, Mongols, and modern geopolitical upheavals, yet still continues to shape culture, politics, religion, and intellectual life across a vast region. So the real question is not, what is Iran today? The deeper question is, how did Iranian civilization influence so much of the world for so long? Before we explore that story, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this channel if you enjoy deep historical documentaries that explore the forces shaping civilizations. Now, let us begin. To understand Iran, we must begin with geography. The Iranian plateau sits at the crossroads of Eurasia, positioned between Mesopotamia, Central Asia, the Indian subcontinent, and the Mediterranean world. This location made Iran something unique in world history. Not simply a country, but a civilizational bridge between East and West. Caravans carrying silk, spices, precious metals, and ideas passed through this region for centuries. The great trade network known as the Silk Road connected China to the Mediterranean through Iranian lands, making Persia a central hub of commerce and cultural exchange. This geography ensured that Iran was never isolated. Instead, it became a place where civilizations met, interacted, and transformed. But geography alone does not create a civilization. Leadership does. And that leadership emerged in the 6th century BCE. In 550 BCE, a tribal leader named Cyrus the Great united the Persian tribes and founded the Achaemenid Empire. What followed was one of the most extraordinary political experiments in ancient history. Unlike many empires that ruled through terror alone, the Persian system introduced a new governing idea: administrative tolerance. Conquered peoples were allowed to maintain their religions, customs, and local traditions. Instead of forcing cultural assimilation, Persian rulers governed through a system of provinces known as satrapies, connected by roads, standardized taxation, and imperial administration. The empire became a model for imperial governance. Even rival civilizations took inspiration from it. Greek elites, for example, adopted elements of Persian court culture and political organization. But Persia's greatest strength was not just military expansion. It was administrative innovation. The Persian royal road connected thousands of kilometers of territory, allowing information and trade to move faster than ever before. In many ways, this system resembled the infrastructure of modern states. Yet empires rise and fall, and Persia was no exception. In 330 BCE, the armies of Alexander the Great defeated the Persian Empire. The great capital of Persepolis was burned. At first glance, it appeared that Persian civilization had been destroyed. But something remarkable happened. Instead of disappearing, Iranian culture adapted and re-emerged. New dynasties such as the Parthians and later the Sasanian Empire revived Persian political identity. The Sasanian state became one of the most powerful empires of late antiquity, rivaling the Roman and Byzantine worlds. Its influence extended across Eurasia, shaping art, architecture, religion, and political institutions from Europe to China. But the greatest transformation of Persian civilization was still to come. In the 7th century, Arab armies conquered Persia. The old imperial order collapsed. But once again, Iranian civilization did not disappear. Instead, it reshaped the Islamic world itself. Persian scholars, administrators, and intellectual traditions played a central role in the development of Islamic civilization. Persian became a major language of literature, governance, and intellectual life across Central Asia and South Asia. Over time, a cultural system known as the Turco-Persian tradition emerged, blending Persian culture with Turkic political rule and Islamic intellectual traditions. This cultural model influenced empires across Eurasia, including those ruling parts of India, Central Asia, and the Middle East. In other words, even after losing political dominance, Persian civilization continued to shape the intellectual architecture of a vast region. Iranian civilization also played a major role in global intellectual history. Persian scholars contributed to philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and literature during the medieval period. Persian scientific knowledge influenced developments in Islamic Spain and eventually contributed to intellectual traditions that later reached Europe. Meanwhile, Persian poetry, literature, and art spread across the Islamic world. The Persian language became a lingua franca across Central Asia and parts of South Asia for centuries. From Istanbul to Delhi, Persian culture shaped courts, literature, and administration. This is one reason historians often describe Iran not merely as a state, but as a civilizational sphere. The modern nation-state of Iran emerged from centuries of imperial decline, foreign intervention, and internal transformation. Events such as the Constitutional Revolution, the Pahlavi modernization period, and the 1979 revolution reshaped Iranian politics. Yet even today, Iran retains significant geopolitical influence. Its position between Central Asia, the Middle East, and South Asia continues to make it strategically important. Energy resources, regional alliances, and historical identity all contribute to its presence in global politics. But Iran's deeper power may not lie solely in geopolitics. It lies in something older, civilization. Across more than 2.5 millennia, Iran has experienced cycles that few civilizations have survived. Empires rose, empires collapsed. Foreign powers invaded. Political systems transformed. The Achaemenid Empire fell to Alexander. The Sasanian Empire collapsed after the Arab conquest. The Safavid Empire eventually declined, yet each time something remarkable happened. Iranian civilization did not disappear. Instead, it reorganized itself and re-emerged in a new form. Even after the fall of the Sasanian Empire, Iranian culture continued shaping the Islamic world through language, literature, philosophy, and governance. And this pattern of resilience is one of the defining features of Iranian history. Today, Iran again stands at the center of global geopolitical tensions. Regional rivalries, strategic negotiations, sanctions, and internal political debates have placed the country at the heart of international discussions about security and global order. Recent developments have even raised questions about Iran's future leadership and political trajectory after major regional conflict and internal pressures. But history suggests something important. Iran's story has never been defined by a single regime or a single political system. It has been defined by civilization. For thousands of years, Iran has been more than a political state. It has been a civilizational center connecting the Middle East, Central Asia, and the wider world. Empires have risen from its plateau. Ideas have traveled across its trade routes. Languages, religions, and cultures have been shaped by its intellectual traditions. And even during periods of decline, Iranian civilization has continued influencing the region around it, which raises a deeper historical question. When historians centuries from now look back at the current moment, will they see it as the decline of Iran, or simply another turning point in the long history of a civilization that repeatedly reinvents itself? Because if the past 2,500 years tell us anything, it is this: civilizations rarely disappear overnight.